Good morning, Hawaii, aloha, and welcome to Lucy's Paradise Podcast. Today we have actually the first female guest that I've had on this podcast, my friend Maddie. She is also known as Maddcreativelife. Sorry, I totally butchered that. Let me do it again. She's also known as Maddcreativelife because she has a YouTube channel that's centered around travel, her being a yoga instructor, and wellness. So, welcome, Maddie. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. Tell us a little bit about you and how we know each other.
So just a little background on me. I'm 27, turning 28 this year. I currently live in California, and I have for most of my life. I did live on Kauai for a couple years, and that's when I met Lucy. And
we went on I actually met you here on Oahu. And
yes.
We went on like a 7-hour, 10-mile hike.
Yes.
It was extremely long.
It was very eventful. I have great pictures from that day. It was a week. It was a whole weekend too.
I forgot.
Because I had some friends that I had met on Kauai, and they knew Lucy. They're friends with Lucy, and so we flew over for a weekend to do the hike. It was Stairway to Heaven, but we were taking a different way.
We were trying to. Yeah, it was like we were trying to do it. We've never did it before. Obviously none of us knew what we were doing, but it was an adventure nonetheless. And I think is that the weekend we stayed at the Ilokai? Like,
yes.
Yeah, okay. All right.
And we went to a speakeasy.
Oh yeah.
And we went to like a cafe.
I forgot about that.
The speakeasy was fun because you have to dress up. You have to look nice. So like dressed up. You had like this cool like jacket. I remember it had like roses.
Yeah, I literally have that video. I was gonna post it the other day and be like, oh, she's gonna be on the podcast, and I totally forgot. But I have that video.
Yeah.
That we took in like the bathroom.
It was so much fun. I do remember that video you're talking about.
Dang.
It was a good time.
Wait, it was okay, yeah, I remember the speakeasy.
And I remember half the group on that hike got lost. Me and Megan was one of Kyle's friends. She and I took a different way. We got separated.
Did we?
At one point. That's why it took so long, because we didn't know which trail led to where, and some people went ahead and some people didn't, and it turned out me and Megan actually found the right path and everyone else had the wrong path, but like it just took a while. Like we had to recalibrate. I don't know if you remember. I
don't remember that.
I
don't remember you guys getting lost. I was gone.
we figured we weren't lost, but after a certain point we just stayed put and we're like, okay, like somebody's phone will start working or somebody will come find us. Like
I just remember the ending part, and it was like super steep.
It was so steep.
And then we found like above the freeway, and that was cool.
Yeah. Oh, the end was so worth it. The view was incredible. We found a geocache box up there. Do you remember that?
Oh my god.
Yeah. This like somebody had one of those geocaching boxes, and I was like, who is even gonna find this? Like, you know,
people do that hike all the time, I'm sure.
But did we end up at the spot where we were supposed to end up, or did we end up slightly?
So technically, this is what happened, because this is the part I do remember. My memory's not totally shot, thank God. So what I remember our plan was to try to figure out the Stairway to Heaven thing, but like we pretty much knew at some point that like, yeah, this is probably not it, but like whatever, let's full send it. So we kept going. But the cool thing was when we got to that platform area that kind of overlooked H3, like we weren't very far from Stairway and we could see it.
Yes.
Yeah. And then we talked about, oh my God, it's right there. But because of how much time we had, I basically told us, like, the whole group, I was like, we need to turn around, because what's going to happen is the sun's going to go down.
And that's what was starting to happen. Yeah. Because it took so long.
Yeah.
And we did start in the morning, but you're right, it took all
By the time
day.
we were there already, yeah.
And by the time we got back to the car, it was dark.
Yeah.
Like, it was actually
dark. Remember, like, I didn't want to be going down. Yeah. Anyway, that's... It was
definitely a great wild start to an adventure, you know?
Yeah, that was like the epitome of an adventure. And I liked that there was like people I didn't know, because then I feel like on a hike, like you actually get to know your friends better and more in depth, because you're literally like on an adventure together in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Exactly. And then we got to like party in the evening, you know, and it was just fun. We got to all clean up and dress nice and go somewhere fun, and like it was a good time.
Yeah, that was fun. So that was like 6 years ago, right?
Yeah, I think I was 23, so yeah, it was around
6
5
years
or
ago.
so years, yeah.
So tell me about your YouTube channel. And like,
Oh,
what got you into starting
so
that?
glad you asked. So I have been, ever since I was young, I was really big into YouTube. I always watched like all kinds of videos on YouTube, literally anything you can imagine, like whether it was like anime compilations or it was like makeup tutorials or just random silly stuff, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I would watch all that stuff when I was a kid, and then I started finding YouTube personalities, like just regular people that would make consistent videos, like either comedy videos or like hair videos or whatever it was. And
Right,
I
right.
just was so fascinated because they kind of seemed like kind of like a celebrity, but they weren't. They were just a normal person who just like was confident enough to like share something with the world.
Well, I think what's interesting about like YouTube, Twitch, and stuff like that that
Mm-hmm.
we've talked about is that people can kind of create their own following, right? And
Exactly.
you have a following on there, so
Yeah, right. Well, and in the beginning, I knew I was going to do YouTube one day. I really, really wanted to do it, but I always thought I would do makeup tutorials or hair tutorials because I was really big into doing that for school. Like every single day, my hair had to be different, my makeup had to be different, my outfit was different. I would try on different styles and looks all the time. And so I just assumed that's what I would do, but I waited a long time and I didn't actually start my channel until it was either 2018 or 2019. I think it was late in 2018, and I like remembered the day that I made the banner and I made the page and there was like no videos up, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm doing it, I'm finally doing it.
that's funny.
And then I had a little before that, I had actually gone on like this really big health journey, and I got really passionate about yoga, and so I became a yoga teacher, and then my channel kind of turned into like self-improvement and wellness yoga classes. Like I started creating yoga classes and like sharing with them so people could watch them at home and do
Yeah.
like, you know, a workout video.
Which when COVID happened, that was like all the rage, right?
Exactly. And so I was doing this even before that happened, and because like
Did
those
that increase your following at that time?
I
Or-
think I've always had consistent growth, but I'll
Okay.
have to go back and check actually
wonder,
to
yeah.
see if more
Just
people would
curious.
find that stuff during that time. Because yeah, that's what a lot of people did, is they just kind of went on the internet or went on
That's
walks
what I
outside.
did. I was already doing that with yoga
Mm-hmm.
and YouTube. It's funny because I feel like my nephews and like the generations after me, because you're like a little bit younger than me, but they're so into YouTube. Like that's all they watch is YouTube, and it's just interesting to me because, I mean, I guess that's why I have a podcast, right? But I just find it interesting because when I was growing up, like we still had regular cartoons and regular cable, and then it was starting to phase into being familiar with Netflix and Hulu and all that. And now I feel like now the next trend is going to be like just things like YouTube where normal people can go and make their own and create their own content. And it's just like, I feel like it's like going to shift, and like change over to that.
You know, it's almost like that's your own personal portfolio. You know what I mean? Like people's content online is
Yeah.
becoming more of like their personal portfolio, and so that's kind of why like I keep my stuff really like personalized. You know, like it seems real. Like I'll show travel vlogs of like where I go, and then I also film content in those places too. But I also kind of see it as like almost like a resume or a portfolio of like work I've done. And so if somebody, like if I'm just meeting somebody, usually in conversation it comes up and I'm like, oh, I have a YouTube channel, I have an Instagram page, like, and we'll exchange info. And then I look at their stuff and it gives me a good idea of like who this person is and what they do, what they're interested in, And so it's
I've kind of prided myself
yeah.
on the fact that like my stuff's kind of random and all over the place. And I'm just like, I mean, that's me. You know what I mean?
It's real.
Because like, yeah, like one day I'll be like, look guys, I was in a jiu-jitsu fight. And then the next day it's like something completely different or
Yeah.
like fitness related,
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I like it that way, but
Yeah.
do you want to stick to like where's your channel you think gonna go? What do you think?
Well, it's been consistent. So I've had consistent, steady growth the whole life of the channel. And I would like to kind of streamline it a little bit and just focus more on like the yoga classes and the workout classes. And I do still want to incorporate the travel stuff because it's a little bit behind the scenes too. Since I do film so much,
Interesting.
I do incorporate in the vlogs like a little bit of like what happens behind the scenes. And I feel like that's kind of important to include because
Yeah.
I don't necessarily want to put that at the end of the video, because it's like for a
Right.
specific purpose. But I do also want to show people what happens behind the scenes because it's not as polished and glamorous as it looks when like you present a finished class.
Right.
There's like I can't tell you how many times I've filmed like something and it's been super windy or really, really cold, or there's been like rain, or the weather has been like, or even the surface that I'm like doing a yoga like, you know, class on is really uneven. Like it's never perfect.
Right.
It's never perfect. And I feel
Are
like
you a perfectionist?
Oh, good question.
Because I feel like that's the sense that I'm getting from you.
Well,
And I am, so.
I feel like I strive to do the best that I can do. I always try to do my best.
So the answer is yes.
And I'm getting much better these days at accepting things as they are and going with the flow and accepting imperfections, because I'd rather have something to show and something done and something like published than never having done anything because I was waiting for it to be perfect and I was trying to nitpick it too hard.
That's actually interesting, because the reason I spent so long and never put music out is because I was really in my own way, because I'm such a perfectionist that I never felt like my music was good enough to put out. And
Really?
For a long time, it was literally my producer that was like, you have to just make stuff like we need to. And then finally I felt like I was like, all right, like screw it. Like I'd rather have something out there that's like from a page of my journal, you know, that I've put my creativity and my heart or whatever into, than nothing, right? Because up until April, I didn't have any music on Spotify, you know?
Yeah.
So I felt like in a way, like I held myself back. So it's interesting that you said that. Like, you want something out there.
Because like the worst that could happen is, oh, it sucks, and maybe you decide you don't like doing it and then you just like stop. Like that's the worst that could really happen.
Right.
I feel like it's so much more important to try.
And what's interesting is I showed my music to one of my old neighbors, and this particular neighbor was going through a divorce. And one of my songs is called My Forever, and it's about...
I've heard that one.
Yeah.
It's good. I like that.
And a lot of people who can relate to it, right? People that have gone through divorces. And we were in the car, and I was in the car with her, and her phone plays my song, and I was like, oh god, because I always get like a little embarrassed, because like, oh, I don't want to listen to my own song.
When you hear your own voice on audio.
It's like, I'm cringing, bro. And she's like, oh my god, this is my favorite song right now, because she was literally going through, and I was like, it's kind of the divorce theme song, like I feel that. But I was like, dang, you know, all it took was this one person that heard my song, and I realized like it's not even about more than one. It was the fact that like this was somebody I knew that was like, no, I slap this one in my car every day, and I was like, oh, like at least somebody got it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And like once it, like that's kind of like you said, getting out of your own way. It's stepping out of your own like ego and your own mindset, realizing that what you're creating is for others. It's not just for you. Like you can get enjoyment and therapy through creating music, you know, or like writing lyrics, whatever it is, but like really like you can enjoy the process. You should enjoy the process if you're going to do something like that, but it's for others
to, I think that
like
we have
heal
gifts.
And to listen to, you know, and to enjoy.
Yeah. I feel like we have gifts, you know, and like some people don't know what those gifts are, but when you start, I feel like that's kind of what figuring out your purpose is like you realize like I think singing and stuff is like part of a gift I'm not really obligated to share, but I feel like that's like part of my purpose, you know, is to use that gift.
Do you remember the first time we met, you sang karaoke?
This is like everyone's first time.
I was so
guys,
impressed.
It's just because I'm always at karaoke. That's what it is.
I was genuinely impressed because you have such a voice.
Oh, on Kauai. Was I on Kauai?
I don't think so. I think we were here. I think it was the night we all arrived here, and we like went somewhere.
Oh my god, that was at On Stage.
And you took us. You're like, I know a spot, and you took us there, and you sang. I was a
celebrity there.
Yes.
Dude, On Stage. Shout out to On Stage. It's closed now because of COVID.
Oh,
so
really?
Sad.
That makes me sad.
It's so sad, but that was the spot. People would get mad at me if I didn't show up on karaoke night, and I was like, yo, man, chill. The next day, they're like, where were you? I was like, dude, chill, man. Like, no, man, there was a duet I wanted to sing. I'm like, all right, I'm sorry. Like, I have so many videos.
They need to put you on the schedule. Like, they got to pay you to be there if they want you there.
The thing is, they don't have to because they know I'll show up.
True.
I love it. It's so fun. I like karaoke because you don't have to be good to do karaoke. That's what I love. Like, I think I have such an appreciation for people that don't have a talent of singing, but they're just so into it. You know, they're like so passionate in that moment, and I love watching that. It's like so real and raw.
When somebody loves singing, it makes everyone else happy. You know what I mean? Whether their voice is like technically good or not.
Yeah.
if they're having a good time, it just like
That's what
brings
I'm
the
saying.
vibe up. Yeah.
It's not about really being good. Like, just coincidentally I can sing, but, you know, like...
I was just naturally born with an amazing voice.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, it's fun, you know? What, you guys never want me to sing again? Like,
No, like, that's why I'm saying I'm like so
what did
glad
I sing,
that...
I wonder?
Oh,
That night.
I remember, but what's the song called?
We'll come back to it
It's
if we remember.
the song with Bob Marley, but he duets with a woman.
No Woman, no.
He sings with a woman in the song.
Wait.
What is it called?
It's a Lauryn Hill song? Turn Your Lights Down Low.
I think that was the song that you sang.
That's the song. Yeah. Because I have these, like... I
can't
have, like, a
believe I
repertoire
remember
of
that.
certain songs. Because I have a certain amount of songs that I sing. Like, I'm not going to sing a song I can't sing, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
That's hard, you know? I'm not going to go out there and sing Adele, you know what I mean?
True.
You know, she has, like, you have to sing, like, what's within your range and your vocal ability, you know what I mean? So...
Unless you're in your car, then you can sing whatever you want. Nobody can
or
judge
you can just scream Billie Eilish. I recommend that. That's a great therapy. By the way, if you're not in therapy, just scream Billie Eilish in your eyelash, whatever her name is, in your car, at the top of your lungs, out the window, to your neighbors, everyone. Promise you'll feel better the next day.
I'm going to try that.
It's one of my wellness techniques. You put that on your YouTube channel.
We'll do it. We'll do a collab video where it's like health and wellness.
You
with
have
Lucy.
like actual wellness stuff, and I just have like BS that I made up. And
We
I'm
take
like, just do
Transgiving
this.
tips. And yeah.
Just drink tequila with your neighbor. You know?
Exactly.
I don't know. It works for some, man. I don't know. It's funny because I saw a post, an old Facebook post, where I said, since I stopped drinking, my therapist turned from my bartender to my Uber driver. I don't know, just random facts that I saw, but I thought that was funny because I guess there was a period of time years ago that I stopped drinking, and then I was like, I didn't go to the bar anymore, so instead of talking to the bartender, now I like took Ubers, and then I would just talk to my Uber driver. Gotta talk to someone.
It's true. Everybody needs someone.
Uber drivers are better therapists, I find, because they have to listen.
Because they're sober.
Just don't crash me, sir.
They give better advice.
They're like, this girl's crazy. Okay, sorry. Wait, we got way out of bounds there. Okay, where do you see yourself traveling? Because you've traveled to a few places. You said Peru.
Yes, so I've been to Peru, Iceland, Norway. I've been to many of the states in the U.S.
Okay.
I've been to the Bahamas. That counts.
Ooh, how was that?
That was nice.
I've never been there.
That was really lovely. They have beautiful water. At least as comparable as Hawaii. Like, you know, crystal clear. It's warm.
Oh, wow.
They have I've never forgotten this. There was a man with a little stand at the beach, and he was selling one thing, and it was fried conch.
What's that?
Conch shell? Like not the shell, but the
What?
creature that lives in a conch shell.
Oh.
And fried up with a little, like,
That sounds
aioli
delicious.
dipping sauce. It was simple.
I love aioli.
And I've never forgotten that flavor.
Was it really good?
It was so good. It
Okay.
was heavenly. Like, I need to go
Like
back
escargot,
and taste
or-
that. Oh, no. I've never had that, though. I don't know if that's
It's
good.
like snail. I don't know.
I've never tasted snail, but no, it was fried.
You've never had escargot?
No.
Oh, dang. Okay.
I haven't been to France
Interesting.
yet, Lucy.
I ate it in New York. I didn't eat it in France.
I'll have it one day. I'm an adventurous eater. I've eaten live
And you're not gonna
abalone
like
before.
France. Well, I didn't like France. I feel like France was really dirty, but I also
That's
did
what I've
see
seen.
everything. Yeah, it's pretty dirty.
I'll go one day, but I would love to go to Japan. That's like, I don't know if that's like the next place I'm
Hell
going to
yeah.
go, but I really, really want to go to Japan. There's so much culture, so much beauty, just like so many people
I need to
to
go to Japan,
condense. I would go anywhere
Bye,
in
guys.
Japan.
Go to Japan. I want to go too. Yeah, that's definitely. Do you have like a list of places you want to go? Because I have a list.
I don't specifically have a list, but I have been saving TikToks in my saved folder of like places in Japan that I want to visit.
That's such a
That's like a
Gen Z answer.
Exactly.
I make a list. The TikTok. That's a list.
I save
You
photos and like reels of like things that I want to see or do, and then
I
I go
save
back through them
TikToks?
and I like check. And yeah,
That's hilarious. Oh my god, that's.
I would
funny.
also want to go to like Greece. It's just really beautiful there, and there's a lot of islands there too, so you can like kind of hop around, you know.
Yeah.
And the weather's great, like all year round. So
Ooh. Yeah, I definitely want to travel more. So which country was your favorite then of the countries? Because obviously the United States is like pretty bland. But of the countries you've been to,
I mean,
What do you
honestly,
think?
to be fair to the U.S., we have every
No.
single kind of biome, like
Yeah.
ecosystem,
Yeah.
like on our on our continent.
That's true.
Even just within the like the United States, like not even counting like Canada or South America, like it's we have everything here. It's like really awesome.
That's a good point.
But I will say it's so hard to pick, but maybe
just like top.
Maybe it's just because it's the last place I went, but Norway might be my favorite by like a hair. Like I've loved every place I've ever been, but Norway is just it's so ancient. The mountains are like really rich in mineral, and they're huge, and like you can tell they're old, like really old, and the water is so clear and it's so cold. It's like the coldest water I've ever felt in my life. I did do a cold plunge when I went to Iceland, and in Norway, I feel like Iceland's water felt colder to me, but Norway's is more north, so technically it should be colder. It just didn't feel colder.
Interesting.
But yeah, the people are healthy.
So cool.
The people are calm. They like have just beautiful land. They take care of like their people.
Because they're not on sugar like we are in the United States.
Even in their cities like Bergen and Oslo, like they're clean and well structured and well developed. Like people are just like living good over there.
Dang.
Yeah. So
I gotta go there.
I would definitely go back.
I'm writing that one down. Norway.
Yeah, Norway. I feel like it's easy to overlook that one, but
okay.
Yeah, I would also totally visit Belgium. Like I hear it's lovely there.
Belgium.
Yeah.
I think my friend was stationed out there. We gotta travel. I gotta travel. Oh, before we forget. So Maddie painted this, by the way. No big deal. Just like an expert painter at Hanama Bay. But if you said you had something or you brought something.
I did. So yeah. Since Lucy was so nice to have me on her podcast, and I saw this beautiful artwork in the background, I felt inspired. So I painted this.
I love this. I love Hanama Bay, so this is like really cool.
I just like it's like a piece of your home. So I just thought like very
definitely.
personalized just for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And then I also brought you some stuff from the mainland.
Ooh,
like stuff you can't get here.
The mainland.
Yeah.
Let me see.
It's like a bunch of little goodies.
Oh my god, you got a lot of stuff in here.
It's now an unboxing.
God, you should not have. Okay,
so you guys don't have Trader Joe's here, right?
We don't have Trader Joe's.
So those
What is that?
Those I thought were I wish that wasn't the first thing you pulled out. Those are like basically like reusable paper towels kind of.
Perfect.
Yeah.
No, I want to go like in
it's just like every household can use them. I don't know. I just thought
the camera over here.
It is I feel like Ellen, when she gets gifts. Except I don't abuse my workers, Oh, sorry.
That is chocolate.
I say
and
the
it was
darndest
so
things.
tiny.
Wow.
And so cute. It has like oat and stuff and like little rice like in it, and it's totally vegan and gluten free. And there's 3 bars. They're tiny little bars in there.
Oh my god, I love those little tiny things. What are those called? The little mini brands. I'm obsessed.
Mini brands, yes. My mom is too. She loves
mini
that
brands.
stuff.
So that's a mini brand, kind of. Ooh, my fave.
As a snack, they just have really good snacks at TJ's.
I love snacks.
So.
They do. Ooh, yum. I love that. Thank you. You're so sweet. What is this? Is this? Oh no, this is something else. We were talking about mushroom stuff.
It is like a seasoning. And yeah, it's like a mushroom blend, like kind of umami.
Oh my god, you're introducing me to all this new stuff.
Yeah, and like it just adds flavor and stuff. You can keep it forever.
Japanese word is one of the 5 basic tastes along with sweet, sour, bitter, and salty. Use a sprinkle of mushroom and to add a boost of savory. I love savory.
You can put that in soup too. Like if you're making a soup or ramen, you could even put some in ramen and it'll like boost the flavor.
I'm gonna put it in my ramen later. I ate ramen before we started this podcast. So. Granola.
That's just some granola. What's so hard? I
granola.
really wanted to get you like coffee or like chocolate or something, but like Hawaii has like the best coffee and chocolate, and so
I'm not really like a. I'm gonna get so many haters. I don't really like candy and like chocolate.
Okay, well I'm glad I got you like tiny bars.
Not that I don't like it. That sounds really misleading. It's not that I don't like it. It's just like I just don't crave it. Like I crave food.
Yeah.
Like I crave a savory home cooked meal.
Yeah.
And like I'm sorry for saying this, but a steak and some rice. I know you don't eat meat, but I'm a meat eater, so. What is? Ooh,
okay, that one. I had to get that through TSA. So it's a special bourbon vanilla bean paste, but it's more like a syrup. So you can put some in coffee or something, or you can bake with it too. Okay. But like, I had to like put it in a really small container.
Does it give you high or no?
No.
Okay.
No. It's just like, and it's not like alcoholic. It's just like, you know how.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I love that.
But it has like the actual vanilla bean seeds in it and everything, so it's like really, you only need like a little bit, and it's like super flavorful.
I love that. Thank you. I
You're
love that you got me
welcome.
like such unique stuff.
Just like
too.
little goodie stuff, you know? Like,
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. I super appreciate it. You know, the thing is, I'm such an adult because I'm most excited for the kitchen cloths.
I knew you would love those. I know it seems like not a flashy gift, but I love getting stuff like that.
Fine.
I love getting soaps
I like practical
and
stuff, like stuff I'm gonna use or stuff, you know, especially ingredient stuff. I love that. I'm trying to expand my cooking repertoire of ingredients. Do you want to hear? Just because you snuck something in from TSA for me, do you want to hear my high story that we kind of talked about earlier?
Yes.
So this morning we went on a hike. We did the Miley Pillbox. For those of you that don't know what that is, it's on the west side of the island, and it's the pink pillbox. A lot of people call it the pink pillbox because they can't say the word Miley. But that's where we went this morning. We did we tried to do like a sunrise-ish hike.
I would say we succeeded. We definitely got there before it was like sunrise.
It was luckily like kind of overcast, so yeah, it worked out. Nobu came. He got some exercise. Tried to hunt some birds. Yeah, he's an athlete for sure. But then we were kind of talking about random stuff on the drive back, and then I was like, oh my gosh, I got to tell you the story about when I got high in California and told my friend to call the police. Basically, is the first part of the story, and then I didn't want to go into depth because I was like, wait, we should do it I should tell you on the podcast.
Yes, so I've not heard this.
I'll tell you the whole story. And it's just a funny story. That's really what it is. So, you know, a lot of you know now at this point that I was born and raised here. Okay, but when I was 21, I ended up moving to the Bay Area. Long story short, I had this whole elaborate plan that my friend and I were going to eat edibles on like New Year's Eve, and I had a limousine, and the limo was gonna pick us up at my house in Novato, and it was gonna drive us to the Kreayshawn concert. And Kreayshawn in San Francisco, I forget where it was at, but she was like performing at New Year's at midnight, right? Then the limousine was gonna pick us up and then take us home. Okay, so if you're ever gonna do edibles, I feel like that was the most safest way to do it.
Being responsible, totally. Yeah.
And it was, so it was for New Year's. I was super excited about it. At around 2 p.m., my friend and I stopped at the little weed store or whatever. This is before, long before I was ever in the military. We stopped at the little weed store. My friend gets these like little tiny cupcakes, and I'll never forget it because I'm traumatized by what happened to me probably. And I don't think I've ever eaten one that looked like that ever again.
It sounds adorable.
But let me tell you this. I don't think, number one, I should not have eaten the whole thing, okay? And I'm going to let you guys know that if you ever want to try things like that, please just take a bite and wait like an hour. Like, just take a bite and wait an hour. That's always the new rule, right?
Yeah.
Me, like a dummy, was like, and I wasn't thinking about, like, amount, right? I had no concept of this at that time. I was,
You didn't read, like, the package
super
serving.
early 20s. No, girl, if it got me high, I was popping that shit in my mouth, okay? Like, I was a mess. But I was, like, in my 20s, like, yeah, we're gonna get fucked up. No. First of all, my friend's like, oh, yeah, if you take it now, like, by the time we go to the concert, you won't even be high. And I was like, okay. But he meant take a bite. I ate the whole thing. And he was like, oh, my God, you shouldn't have eaten that. And I was like, nah, I'll be fine, right? So I kind of shook it off. We end up, I eat it in the car on the way back to my house. So we go back to my house, and all we basically do is we're waiting for the Uber, right? Or not the Uber, the limo or whatever. And so I started freaking out, basically. And I was like, freaking out. And I went,
what was
my
going
friend,
through your head
at
that
time?
time?
All I was telling him was, just call the police. I was freaking out. And my friend, it's
Poor
funny
thing.
because you asked me in the car, you're like, what would calling the police have done? And I was like, I don't know. I just thought that was a solution.
They'll know what to do.
I don't know. But my friend like stopped me and looked at me and grabbed me and was like, you're fine. Go lay down. Like, I'm not calling the fucking police. Like, he probably thought it was a mess. I think we're still friends on Facebook. But anyway, so I went to go lay down, but I was like, my heart was beating out of my chest. I was basically having a panic attack. Mm-hmm. And I just like tried to take a nap, which was impossible before the limo got there. that's basically what happened. Limo takes us to the concert. I barely remember anything. Happy New Year to me. Woke up in my bed and I'm like, never doing that again. That was a horrible experience. But I'm glad the cops weren't called because that would have been even more embarrassing. And I'm glad I had a friend that could like snap me out of it a little bit. But that was my first really dramatic encounter with anxiety. So yeah, that's the story.
Oh my gosh.
It was scary. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. Well, like, I've definitely had some times back in the day. Okay, back in the day, guys, I don't smoke weed anymore, but I never liked edibles that much because I'm kind of a lightweight, and the way that they just like activate in my stomach is just too strong. So I'm the kind of person, this is embarrassing, I have to take like a quarter or maybe a half of an edible, like a quarter to a third.
Why is that embarrassing? That's
because like I can't take a whole serving, like I just,
that's fine,
otherwise it's like
that to forget the whole night. That I forgot the whole night. Like I spent all this money and didn't even remember anything.
That makes me sad.
Yeah,
I was hoping at least
the one thing I didn't buy was the edible. Like what? That was horrible. Horrible experience. California, relax. Y'all putting way too much stuff in there, man.
It's no longer medicinal.
Yeah, and then California, man. California. Everyone's smoking weed in California right now. They're just doomed because there's just too much in there.
There's a dispensary on like every street now. It feels like, and I live like kind of, I go near Santa Cruz a lot, and they're like everywhere. They're everywhere. And you know what I've heard? I actually applied. This was a few years ago. I applied to work at a dispensary. And because I just wanted to be around chill vibes, and I wanted to learn more about how to grow the plants because I'm really into like plants. Chill vibes. Not that I was planning to like grow my own plant, but
my boss is high all the time.
It just seemed like a chill environment.
Like, wait, that would be perfect. They don't care if you're late ever.
Well, and tips. You get like lots of tips. So I was going where the green was. Okay, I was going where the green was. Right. And where I was like, I was interviewing, and I was just like kind of having a conversation similar to like what we're doing now, and the people interviewing me were talking, and they're like, we actually get a lot of old people coming in here, like really old people, like 70 plus, and they never like got to try weed before because it was illegal in their day, and or like they tried a little, but they come in and they either have pain like arthritis, or they have like they get like nauseous or like kind of dizzy, whatever it is, like they go in there and they think that like the THC is going to help them, and it's cool. So like there's this whole medicinal side of it that I do think is great, like it's opening up this whole more natural, depending on what you get, more natural remedies for people that need it, like these older people. But then there's also this whole other side where it's like chaotically recreational, like where it's like just so much THC, it's not even medicinal anymore, it's just gonna blast you off. So like I feel like that's kind of with every good thing though, is you're gonna get I feel like you're gonna get like the best of it but also the worst of it, if it becomes big, no matter what it is.
I'm gonna like make a shirt out of that little cupcake and be like, blast me off. New merch coming soon.
You can have a little candle on it that's a rocket.
Oh my god. We're in space now. Like, oh my god. Space cadet vibes. So how do you, like, what inspired you to not smoke anymore? Because you think that story that I just told would have stopped me ever smoking again. I mean, I guess I didn't smoke for, like, over my entire military career, so.
Well, I actually had several experiences, like, similar to what you described. And each time it spooked me so hard, I like stopped smoking weed for like a couple months, and I was like, I'm never gonna do it again. Eventually I would do it again, but I just had too many moments where I would like kind of pass out or green out, where you feel like you're gonna be sick.
I don't like that. Yeah.
And I just was like, this can't be good for my brain. But it was hard to give it up because it also helped me a lot with like anxiety, and I would smoke it and I would paint and like draw and do creative projects, and so it was very helpful in many ways.
And so,
but it came to a point where like I had to admit, okay, I have to moderate this, and I did. Like there was a time when I was just moderating, and I would use it occasionally. But then it just came to a point in my life where I'm like, I just don't feel like I need this assistance right now, and I can just do it sober. So like I've been living like the sober life, and I'm happy. Nice. And it saves a lot of money,
that's like, a fact.
Yeah,
it's expensive. Like, I really can't afford to have a habit. Like, that's why I'm addicted to caffeine.
I know, and cheaper. Even that's a habit. We were talking about how, one thing I've been doing is, like, I've been trying to make coffee at home because I realized, like, I was spending, like, a lot of money just getting, like, a special latte before work.
Where would you get coffee at?
I switch it up.
Okay.
I go to like I try to go to like local places to get coffee.
Yeah.
Like a little coffee stand or a drive-through, or I like go in. But then I started going to like the Pete's because they have like this
Oh, pizza's
plant.
so good.
It is really good.
It's like customized coffee.
And the quality is
know?
better than Starbucks. Like I can taste it,
They
and
make it
so
with love.
I got, and they're really quick too. So I kind of just I got like in the habit of going to Pete's, and they have like a
Dang.
plant-based breakfast sandwich.
Ooh.
Lucy, it's like they have like the egg and the cheese and the sausage, but it's all vegan. And I know it's not
Oh.
healthy. It's processed, right? So it's not like healthy,
Oh, it is.
but it's completely plant-based, so I could eat it. And I would I would allot myself every other week. I could get one. And I would eat it, and I would like savor it, and it was like I was eating like a McDonald's breakfast sandwich or something. It was
It's your McDonald's.
It was my
basically.
naughty little treat, like
It's your McDonald's.
exactly.
So are you vegan or vegetarian?
So I
Or kind of like a mix of
I
both?
went vegan and I was like solidly vegan for like I'd say at least 2 years. But then
Okay.
when I moved to Kauai, I was still vegan for like the first few like 2 or 3 months I was there. But it got to a point where like I couldn't keep turning down the fish because one, it's a huge part of like the culture, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
like it's also a really vital food source. Like you can get a lot of protein
That's
in
true.
fish, and I was like literally living on avocados and like the white rice that's like $1 at the store, and like nori wraps, like you
So
know,
good.
because like everything's expensive, so I was like really
Right, true,
cutting
true,
down
true.
on a lot of things when I lived there. And you know, fish, poke, some of the best in the world, and it was also a vital source of nutrients. So
I
I
see.
basically am like vegan, but sometimes we'll have fish.
Okay.
So I make the exception. I'm more flexible. Vegans don't come for me, okay? Like
No, come for her.
I'd be-
We need comments.
I kind of have like this is just like my own
kidding.
little thing to make me feel better, but I tell myself if I'm willing to catch and kill and prepare something myself, then I can eat it. And I'm willing to do that with fish. I've also done it before. Like when I was a kid, I used to go fishing and stuff, but
Oh, okay.
so
So
yeah.
you don't feel bad for the fish. You're not like that kind of vegan.
I do feel kind of bad, but I like, you know, again, Native American kind of approach to it. Like say like your gratitude to it, you know, prepare it with love and care and just be thankful for it. And like, you know, don't over consume, like take what you need, but never with greed kind of thing. So
I like that. Yeah.
yeah. So like I allow myself to have fish when I need it, but I'm pretty much plant-based, like other than that.
Wow.
You know, occasionally my mom will make a cake that I have to have a piece of, you know, and that's got a little bit of milk or something, but we're not keeping score.
Yeah. I like that because then it's like, you know, you try to stay like mainly along those lines. You know what I mean? Like for yourself, but you kind of like you'll make exceptions. You know? I feel like that's healthy. You know.
You know, you got to make room for life. You know,
Yeah.
it's good to like have like a schedule and like or have even like your own beliefs of like this is what I eat and this is why. I think that's great, but like you gotta leave a little wiggle room for life. You know, if your best friend has a birthday party, or like I said, like my mom, she's an amazing baker. She did it professionally for a while.
Oh, wow.
When my mom makes a cake for like a wedding or a birthday, I'm not gonna turn down
This is like a decadent cake.
a piece
yeah,
of, and
if
like for my birthday, my mom makes a vegan cake, which is so nice.
That's sweet of
But
her.
like if my sibling has like a birthday, you know what I mean?
She's probably mad at how expensive those ingredients are.
Nowadays, oh my gosh, don't even get me started. It's a luxury to have groceries nowadays.
Yeah.
Like that's my special thing is like I'll go to the store and get special groceries.
It doesn't have to be super expensive. For those of you people who want to eat healthier, I think our habits are so bad in America in terms of being healthy that people use everything as an excuse. You know, fast food became so popular because it's just convenient, but there's a lot of ways to eat healthy, stay on the healthy path. You don't have to be as extreme as like, you know, never eating meat or like being vegan, like, things like that. Not to call it extreme, but I'm just saying like I think a good balance too, you know what I mean?
Yes,
Like
absolutely.
because obviously I still eat fast food, you know, like occasionally, but as long as it's not like primarily how I eat my food, you know what I mean? I feel better
Yeah.
about it. Like I like I said, I love real home cooked meals. Like
Yeah.
nothing beats that. Nothing will ever beat that. You know, you can't replicate that in a fast way. You know, there's not gonna be the closest thing in Los Angeles. They have like veggie grill and stuff like that. That's like, it's like healthier.
Yeah.
I mean, it's obviously not like fast food. You can't like go through the drive-through, but I'm just saying like people are just doing that to save time, but in reality, it's not really worth it. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It's always a cost no matter what it is. You just have to determine what cost is more important to you that day.
Yeah.
And but like buying in bulk and buying like, whole fruits and vegetables, and like the trade-off with that is that stuff requires a little bit of time and effort to like, time and labor to make it, but like one, exactly what is going in that food.
Yeah. Do you like Costco?
Um yeah, my family shops I actually used to work at Costco. Did you know that?
No.
I worked there for like a year.
I feel like that would be a great like employment opportunity.
It is. So okay,
And then do you get like discounts on groceries?
No, actually, but I learned
I'd
so
be like eating berries
much.
the whole shift.
They're really strict about that. Like you cannot
Dang, I get fired.
you can't take home anything that's like can't be sold anymore. So like if somebody like breaks a bag of avocados and they fall on the floor, you have to take it to the back warehouse.
Okay.
You're not allowed to take those avocados home. They have to be chucked, essentially.
Wait, what?
I know, and
They don't even like let anyone. What if I wanted to buy it? Could I buy it?
I don't know, because they also would mark it on a special sheet, like this is not sellable anymore.
Avocado bag number 15, no good. Throw it out.
Exactly.
Like, that's a waste.
They have their system down to a T there. Like it is a tight ship.
Really?
I worked with like 350 people in one warehouse.
Whoa.
And because it's like day and night. There's a night crew, there's a
That
day
makes
crew,
sense.
there's people that come in like all times of day, tons of cashiers, tons of people
Wow.
stocking. Yeah, it's a
I think
machine.
ringing stuff up is fun.
Yeah.
I practically work at times.
Honestly,
'Cause
yeah.
I always ring myself up.
Working the register is pretty fun, and
It
time
seems
goes
fun.
fast, because
Yeah.
you're really busy. I used to like also push the carts outside too, and I would like push them up a hill, and I would pretend they were paying me to work out, so it wouldn't kill me. I was like, okay, I'm gonna get my alignment right, and I was
For
like,
your like mental.
engage the glutes, engage the core, and I would like push all like 9 carts up a hill, and just do that for like a couple hours until they called me in. Like.
I would be outside in the parking lot the whole time, my whole shift, eating berries in the back, and yeah, I'd get fired.
I know people that did that.
I wonder how long I would last at Costco. I'm gonna go get hired there and just see.
So one thing that really wore me down is you interact in a single shift. You interact with like 4,000 plus people.
Yeah, that would get
Because
exhausting.
I also used to count at the door. I did a little bit of everything when I was there.
Okay.
I used to count every
I would
single
like
member
that.
that comes in, and so you track it, and they check in on a walkie with you every 30 minutes to see what the count is, because they also do it to count with the
What?
carts that they have. It's a system. You
Oh
have
my
no
God.
idea what goes
I don't
on in
like
Costco. Really?
It's too many people in there.
There's a lot of people.
And here, you can't even park at Costco.
Really?
so I give
oh
up.
my gosh, yeah.
I just give up. I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, they do have the best prices for sure, like by far. But
It's good for like things like toilet paper and stuff. I just don't feel like it's as practical for certain foods. Like obviously, like fruits and vegetables. Like you got to eat that stuff right away. I'm not gonna.
depending, like carrots can last a long time.
That's true. That's true.
But like, yeah, I know what you mean. I'd rather buy more frequently, but buy like better quality like stuff, and not have to go into Costco for like.
I'd have to
stuff.
be one of those old people that go at like right when the doors open.
Yeah, at
So I
like
can just
8:30 in the morning.
Get it done and get out. Like I don't like to spend more than 30 minutes in a store.
Yeah.
I don't like crowds. I don't like people.
Well, that's why I couldn't work there any longer. I was getting so drained. I was there like 35 hours a week.
Dang.
And yeah, and you don't really get to pick your shifts, and they don't really like
Oh, that sucks.
they don't like really give you your schedule you want unless you bring them your school schedule. Like you have to basically
like, have
be a
reason.
student. Otherwise, they're
Okay.
allowed to schedule you whenever.
What?
But the benefits are excellent. You get like really good benefits. The paycheck, my first paycheck there, I was like, yeah, I can stay here for a while. Like,
Really? They pay good?
yeah.
Dang, man.
Yeah, like my first paycheck
I want
was
to
like,
push carts or something. I gotta do
Yeah.
something easy and dumb. you know?
Exactly.
I'm not trying to like do anything crazy. I'm not
You-
trying to like manage people.
exactly. Although the
do
managers
that.
do get paid really well too. But then
Yeah,
again,
you gotta like
but you get like
manage people.
if you're like a shift supervisor, you get bullied around by like the managers,
That's
but then
horrible.
you also have to be the bad guy to your friends who are like the regular
Yeah.
employees. So it's like it's definitely a trade-off. That's why I didn't
I
go
like
for
it.
it, because I was like, I could be a supervisor, but
It's just,
I don't want that
It becomes who
responsibility.
you are a little bit. I think like whatever career you choose, like people really. There are some people that have these like positions in their careers and they take it so seriously.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, relax. Like you're just Joe when you go home. or
Exactly.
Adam, you know what I mean? Like, but I don't know. I like. I'd like to have a chill role, but I think Costco. That's interesting. I've always thought about it. I was like, dang, there's so many people in here because it's so huge.
Yeah.
Costco's huge.
It is huge, and like there's a lot of stuff that's cool about it though. Like, did you know if a price ends in a 7, that means that they're gonna discontinue that. So you like if you want it, you should buy it. Because that yes, so it's
Ends
like,
in a
if something
7?
is like $4.97, that means that they're not gonna restock this, and they're when it's out, it's out. So
wow, you guys are
should
hearing
get
all
that.
this Costco secrets.
Same thing if there's a little star or an
I had no
asterisk.
idea we were talking about Costco.
I know, right? I didn't even know that either. If there's a little star or an asterisk, that means that they're what does that one mean? I don't remember what that one means, but there's a couple
so
little
7 buy it, and then asterisk something.
That one it also means it's gonna run out, but I don't remember like if it means like it'll come back, but it's undetermined when or something like that.
Okay.
But there's like all these little behind the scenes
coolest things they
learn.
have at Costco, I think, are like the big fun thing, or like for example, like one thing that's cool to get are like certain bean bags are cool to get over there, certain like little like water rafts, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Certain instruments when
certain
they have like
shoes too. I got some slides from
I'm not
there.
gonna lie, Costco clothes sometimes slap. Like dude, I know it sounds weird.
Oh my
but like
gosh.
I've gone there, even in the guy section, I'm like, I'm buying this. Me and my sister, I'm like, you want to go clothes shopping at Costco? And
Okay,
she's
not
like,
gonna lie, I
yeah.
have gotten like sweats and stuff.
My sister's,
from there.
I think, the only one I
like,
can go to Costco with, but
Yeah.
I think I gotta be with someone to go to Costco, so I feel safe.
You know
'Cause
what's
I don't feel safe.
honestly the
Feel safe
best thing
there,
you
bro.
should do is you should
Old
get...
ladies be running you over for grapes. It's not a safe place.
I know.
It's not a safe place.
They're just like rifling through
yeah,
the stuff.
they're acting like there's like a natural disaster and all these resources are gonna run out. I'm like, relax. You're gonna get your discounted toilet paper, ma'am. Like. And they're like running me over and stuff.
That was unbelievable during the pandemic when everybody was like, they actually had to have like, you can't buy more than, it was either 1 or 2 cases of toilet paper, like per membership. Like,
or per like family
like per
too.
day even.
Dang.
Yeah. They had to like lock that down hard because everybody was just going to buy out all the toilet paper. And so they had to like,
that's why I believe in like
it.
staying stocked up like as much as you can, like on like normal times. Like I told my mom to stock up on a lot of water.
Yeah.
Because of the Red Hill thing that happened.
Oh,
so I was like, it might be smart to like start doing it now, and then by the time like months and months and months from now, if something happens with our water resource, like we're good. Like we have a crap ton of water. Basically, if anything happens, I'm just gonna go to my mom's house. So let's be real.
Yeah.
I just need gas in my truck. Go over to my mom's. Be like, hey,
she
Mom.
thinks you're just being concerned and telling her to like be prepared.
Yeah,
but
in
really,
reality,
you're thinking
I'm
about
making
your
sure
own
I got
safety.
toilet paper, you know, because it's an important resource.
Exactly.
And water. And water. She has a lot of water. But sometimes when I like am too lazy to go to the store and buy stuff, I just stop at my sister's and grab a roll.
Yeah.
Yeah. She
That's
lets me.
nice.
So
Yeah.
I'm like, bye. Or I like raid her fridge, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like I deserve it though, because I'm the youngest.
Privileges with being the youngest.
How do you like being the oldest? Because you were telling me you're the oldest.
I'm the oldest of 4 kids.
Your role?
Good and bad, you know, typical oldest
get along
stuff.
with them?
I get the most responsibility put on me, the most like
Expectations?
parental, yes, exactly, expectations. But it's nice because I got to like do a lot of things first. Like, you know, I was like the first one to like get a job, first one to get a license. Like my parents like would kind of use me as the guinea pig for their parenting stuff.
You
but
actually were the guinea pig.
I was, but
You're
it
like,
was
let's
also
see how this one gets screwed up or not, and then.
I'm glad though. Like I think I was like taught a lot. Like I was taught a lot of stuff, and because of the expectations and the pressure, it helped me be like a better functioning person in the real world. You know, like I don't know. I'm reliable. I would say I'm reliable, and so I think that definitely comes with being an oldest. And I used to like
that makes sense.
envy my youngest brother because he's the baby and stuff. I'm like, oh, you just get to
like
do
no
what you want.
expectation to be reliable. Like,
Yeah.
you can just like
But then that comes with its own set of challenges. You know,
Right.
he wants to be more independent, but he's struggling because he's seen as the baby and nobody really like expects much more of him. So he's kind of like, you know, in that transitionary period right now, and so it's not always better on the other side, you know.
Yeah, that's a good point. Do you have a favorite sibling?
Oh my god.
I'm asking the good questions.
Oh. Well, it's
She's
hard.
like, oh, I don't want to answer.
It's hard to say because I thought I did.
someone
That's
you're close
bad
to?
to even say. I thought I did, but they all keep surprising me. Like every time I think I've got a favorite, like they show me a different side of themselves, and I'm like, oh, and they're all so different. you know? Like, I don't think I have a favorite. I think I just love them uniquely for who they are.
That's good. Yeah.
And we also connect in different ways. So
that makes sense.
it would be a little unfair for me to say I have a favorite.
Yeah.
But you know who you are. I'm just teasing. I'm just joking.
It's funny because I was at my oldest sister's house. So one of my sisters lives in California that I told you about, and then one of my sisters lives here. So I was at my sister's house here, and her phone rings, and I'm in the kitchen with her phone, and I looked at her phone, and it says, most favorite is sister. And I was like, huh, that's funny, I'm not calling you. And she was like so like shook, like
you got the
and
receipts.
I was like, wow. And then I looked at what my number was in her phone, and it literally said my first and last name. I was like, what?
Not even sister?
What kind of disrespect is this? Yeah, it was like Lucy Dorado. I was like, okay, weird. But
oh my gosh.
so
non-personalized at all?
Man, I didn't even have a photo, nothing.
You didn't have an emoji next to your name? I do that for people. You have an emoji.
I might have changed it.
You have an emoji in my phone.
What emoji?
I put it in the first time we ever met, and so
one?
no, it's a Libra/Scorpio one.
You made it.
Because we talked about how we were both on the cusps.
Oh yeah.
And so you're like, oh, I'm like Libra, Scorpio cusp.
Virgo,
Libra. Yes. Right. And so we were like right on the line.
Oh, yeah,
so
that's funny.
I just put that like just for like temporary, but I can change it to something else.
I don't know. I like my favorite emoji. Oh yeah, what are your favorite emojis? That's a good question.
Oh, this is annoying, but I use like the emoji's not annoying. It's annoying how much I use this emoji. The little 3 sparkles.
Oh,
the big sparkle, the medium sparkle, and the little one. I love putting that like at the end of captions on things. It's just a little bit magical.
Okay. Oh, okay. So, well, what's your most used emoji for people though? Like when you're having conversations with people?
It's usually like a smiling one of some sorts. Usually just the basic smile, the classic smile one. You know, like that one. Like just the regular smile one. That one's used a lot.
Like I'm always curious, like what people you want to know. Do you have an idea? Do you want to guess what the most used emoji is that I use?
It's probably something weird.
No, it's not.
It's probably something random, like either the pizza emoji or like the skull emoji or like. No. Is it like a face one?
Yeah.
Is it the crying one or the crying laughing one?
Tilted.
The tilted.
I like the crying, laughing,
that
tilted
one too.
And it's because like when I make a joke, I feel like that's just me. Like.
So I do that one when I think something's particularly hilarious. Like if it's just the next level, because like I'll use like the regular cry laughing one when I think that's really funny. But if I think something's really really funny, I'll use that tilted one. Yeah.
I make a joke and I'll put that one. Or like I'll send a funny meme and I'll put that one. If you tell me a joke and I think it's dumb, I'll put the regular laughy one. That's like centered or whatever.
Yeah.
I like the tilty. It has to be the tilty
the one with it still has the tears though, right?
Has the tears. That's so the sideways tears guy. I don't even know what these are called. That's my top, and then I would say my second favorite emoji is it's a really hard competition between the Satan, the mean looking Satan, that actually looks like a devil. I know.
The red one?
It's not religious of me to do that.
The red one?
Oh, I use the praying hands a lot too. No, not the red one.
The purple one.
The purple guy.
The happy one or the angry one?
Which someone told me that it was like sexual, and I was like, what?
Well, people can use it in.
I was like, I don't use it. Ways. I was like, what? But I sent it to my friend, like, haha, Satan, and she was like, ew, why'd you send me that? And I was like, huh? And she was like, that's like the sexual Satan. I'm like, it is? And I was like, oh my god, dude, I sent that shit to my mom. like awkward. But I was like, no one's ever sent me anything that like was with that emoji that I took it that way. So I was like,
that one makes me think of like devil on your shoulder, like suggesting something. So that's why I think people use it in kind of a sexual ways, because it's like, hey, we should do this.
I'm like this. Let's drink tonight, Satan. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's appropriate to use in that kind of text.
That's how I use it. You know what I mean? Like, or like, they send you a meme and you send them another funny meme and then you put like, I don't know. But what's the other one? I can't think of the other one.
Yeah, what's your most used?
That one is
besides the tilted one. What's your second most?
Let's see. Oh, I remember now. The upside down happy face guy.
How do you use that one? Because I use that really strategically.
I just use it like, let's hang out. Ding. It's like me like in a good mood, you know?
That's funny because I use that one when I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool. But then if I'm like really either neutral about it or like, I'm like, that's cool. And like overall it's cool. But underneath I'm like, I'm a little let down. I do the upside down one because I'm like, I'm happy, but not really.
That's funny. So it's really like your emo, kind of.
It's like I'm smiling on the outside and I'm like sad on the inside.
Oh my god, that's so sad.
That's what I use that one for.
Emojis are fun. Emojis are fun. The praying hands, I use that a lot.
Did you know that's actually the high five? But everyone thought it was praying hands, so now it's widely used as praying hands, but it's actually two hands giving high five. That's how it was intended to be.
My whole life is ruined.
I know. When I found that out, I never looked at it the same. I was like, oh, it's ruined now.
Nah, it's praying hands.
It is. Because of cultural pressure.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Cultural pressure, yeah, for sure. I'm gonna put that out on YouTube, that it's praying. It looks like what you would do when you're praying.
Exactly.
You know? I don't know. Why would I send somebody that we high-fived each other? Isn't that the high five emoji? Isn't there one with a hand? There's like a fist, there's this fist, there's this
right,
fist.
But like if it's a high five, that's like two hands, and I think they didn't want to have them halfway and have like the lines because it almost looks like you're holding a ball of power or something. Why didn't they just make it like animated and then it could just go. But that's a GIF. That's not an emoji. See, we're like diving.
It could be a moving emoji. We're inventing it now. We have to invent an app.
I think there was no good way to make a high five emoji, and they just did the best
so
they
could.
Made
praying hands. What?
Like going full circle, just make it even if it's imperfect. Just get it out there because it's gonna touch so many people in their own special way.
Interesting. Yeah, my life is ruined. I feel weird now using that emoji for praying. But I'm like, thanks God. God bless you. And
yeah.
But now I'm like, God bless you, high five. Like, what?
Well, everyone uses it, like, as praying hands. So, like, that's just how it was adopted to be used. So it's not weird if you use the praying one. Because it is now the praying one. It used to be high five, but now it's...
Yeah, I like it as praying.
Yeah. I still use it as praying.
Okay.
Yeah. You're not alone.
You're not alone. I feel alone. Who else uses it as praying and had no idea until you watched this? I have no idea. Anything else you want to... I've learned so much from you in the last day that you've been here.
Yeah.
I learned about the mushroom thing.
Oh, I know. We talked so much about, like,
you talked about the
all
mushroom.
kinds of stuff.
What is it called?
Mushroom hunting? What was that?
Well, but the specific mushroom we were talking about the other day.
Oh, snow mushroom.
Snow mushroom.
Oh,
yes.
Okay. So for anybody that's listening, I was telling Lucy about this, like, traditional Chinese soup that's made, and one of the key ingredients is a snow mushroom, and when you find it in the wild, it looks like a white gelatinous-y brain essentially on a log, and then you like cut it off, and then you can dehydrate it, and that's how you buy it in the store, dehydrated. Then you can soak it in water overnight, and then chop it up, put it in the soup with a whole bunch of other ingredients. But the main thing with this mushroom is it like hydrates you from the inside out. Wow. So it's great for your organs, great for your skin. It helps with like youthful glow and appearance.
Yeah, you gave me mushroom stuff for my face.
Yeah, so I was telling Lucy I've been having the soup, I've been eating it, and then I also bought like a mushroom Korean skincare, and it's just 100% snow mushroom extract, and you like pump it in your hand. It's like mucusy, and you just put it on your skin, and it makes. And I said
I put mucus on my face this morning, guys.
Exactly, but it's nice.
It was slimy.
At first,
but then
yeah,
it's gone now.
Exactly, like it's honestly very ideal.
It's like a shield of prettiness.
But like there's no stickiness or anything. Like I like that how there's like no sticky residue. Yeah. You know, like it like really. It was just like a moisturizer
almost.
Yeah.
That just kind of was a little bit thicker. Where'd you get that?
I bought it on TikTok Shop. Don't tell my sister. I don't have a problem. That's the only thing I've ever bought on TikTok Shop. But it's like a legit Korean skincare. I think it's called like Depond or something.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
I want to get some. Okay.
I wish I could put the name on the screen because I can't say it. But.
Well, maybe I'll find it or something. And
yeah.
I don't know.
You can take a picture of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've learned a lot from you. I'm glad that you came to visit. It would have been cool if your trip was, longer and stuff. But if there's one key takeaway, it's the mucus mushroom that you showed me.
You put it on your skin and it'll make you live forever.
Yeah, I'm trying to live forever for sure. Like, I'll eat those mushrooms if it... Well, guys, thank you so much for watching the podcast today. We really appreciate Maddie for coming on. If you want to check out her YouTube channel, please go check it out. She has some really cool stuff on there. Really enjoy your travel and your yoga, because that's kind of how I got started with checking out your YouTube channel. So check it out, especially if you're into yoga. It's super good for you. It is Maddcreativelife. and go support her channel. And thank you so much for being on.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you guys, and we appreciate you for watching. Thanks for watching Lucy's Paradise Podcast.